good with that gang? It's your girl Mikki checking in, guys. And today, I wanted to hop on here and just kind of talk to you guys a little bit. I had a poll on my Instagram where I was asking everyone to kind of send me some questions that you all may have, and you responded. So thank you all so much for that. This chair won't let me be great, so if y'all hear the that's the chair. See what I'm saying? Tragic. Anywho, thank you all so much for tuning into this video. My name is Mikki, and on this channel, guys, I do self-care tips every single Sunday. We also celebrate big businesses, and we do interviews with individuals who are business owners, and that is going to be in my boss chats. I also do weekly boss chat meetings with different individuals on my Instagram every Wednesday at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But yes, guys, I just talk about my life. I'm a mom of three beautiful little girls. I have an amazing husband. I'm also a business owner. So you can always shop Kingdom Brand Clothing. .com. We have clothing for the entire family, so sizes newborn all the way to 3X, and we do custom items as well. So that sounds like something you're interested in. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also hit that bell so you'll get notified anytime your girl drops a new video. I just did my Vlogtober, so I was super excited. I actually had a video every day, and except two. There was two I didn't, but I had two videos the other days to make up for that. So y'all, I'm still winning. I'm still winning. That's my first time ever doing that. But like I said, I had put up a post on my IG for some people to comment and any video topics. And one of them someone sent out was a video about failures and just how do you process those? How do you get through those? And to be honest, I really believe that failure depends on the individual. It really depends on you and what your definition of failure is. For me, I mean, oh man, you can't say you're human. You can't say you're going through this thing called life if you don't admit that you've ever had a failure. Okay. And we can be talking about failures in business, life, in general, relationships, careers. There's a lot of different aspects there. But for me, um, ooh, that's a heavy one. But failure, okay. Failure can mean a lot of different things. Just being all the way. So I personally feel like when you think of failure, think of the positive aspects of it. Don't always think on the negative because we can go to the negative. You could say, "Oh my God, that didn't work. I wasted all that time. It was money involved. I look stupid. I put my name out there on this particular item or event or thing, and it didn't work." Okay. I used to be a children's counselor for child victims of domestic violence. And we had a lot of different activities that I would host, talent shows and all that kind of things. And a lot of times it would be just the kids and the family. We wouldn't have the community support. And you could say that that was a failure. I feel like I failed those kids in a way because I was not able to fully get their word out. Um, but then there were times where those kids would come to me and say, "Thank you so much. You really, really helped me. And now I can talk about it and now I can navigate through." So, in a way, what I thought was a failure was actually a success for them. So, I really feel like when you have a failure, you can't dwell on it. You have to, okay, all right, I'm gonna have my moment, I'm gonna have my hour or two, like, dang, that was jacked up, like I said, I printed all these flyers. I passed them all out. I was talking to people and engaging with the community, and I did not have the turnout I wanted. Man, that was messed up. But then what did I learn? I learned it's not all about the numbers. It's not all about the number of people who show up. So, like you, if you're a content creator and you like, say, let's just go, you like to go live, right? And you're on your live, you've prepared your notes, you got all your notes laid out, you got your whole setup going, and you are ready for this live. You've been posting on your social media, you've been posting on your YouTube platform, you done told a couple co-workers, you done told some family members, and you get on this live and you ready. Oh, I'm talking you ready, okay? And then you turn around and you may have four people in your life. You may have one or two come here or there, but then they leave, but you have four people, just four that are sticking with you. You may view that as a failure, right? You're like, man, I prepped, I did the work, I talked about it, I promoted it, I was tagging other people, I was doing this, I was doing that. But then you realize, you really realize those four people that stuck around, they got the message. They got what that live was intended for. Whatever the information was that you wanted to give out and push out in that live, they received it. They stuck around. So maybe you had this crazy number of people who were going to show up for this live, but those four people were who that live was intended for. And now that you kind of have that, you focus on the positive side of that. You don't sit and dwell in your failure. For me, I did. I'm guilty of it, y'all. I'm guilty. I used to sit and be like, man, that hurt. It didn't work. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It just I'm done. I don't even want to do, social media anymore. But then you have to realize, okay, do I like doing social media? Like, is it fun for me? Okay. Do I like creating a post? Do I like showing up and maybe getting a little dressed or whatever, whatever? Yeah, okay. When I do have those individuals on my live, am I getting a little bit of feedback? Are those four people commenting? Are they letting me know that they're getting the message? Do they like it? Did they like it? Did they share it? And if the answer is yes, then you keep going. Life is all about, in my opinion, this is my opinion, life is all about trial and error. You're going to have an idea, you're going to put it in motion, you're going to do it. Is it going to work or it's not? At the end of the day, if you can look back and say you learned one thing from that event or that activity, you have learned, you have gained, you have acquired a skill set, a knowledge base, an experience that will hold you for the rest of your life. So if you have that positive, why hold on to the negative? Why hold on to the bad part of that? Failure is a part of it. When you first learn how to ride a bike, you're not going to be perfect when you first get on that bike and them training wheels is gone. Ain't nobody holding on. You're not going to be perfect, baby. You're going to tip over. You may fall. You may bruise an elbow, bruise a knee, but you're going to get back up and you're going to say, okay, you know what? That part didn't work. Maybe I was leaning a little much to the right, you know? So when I get back on here, I'm going to lean a little bit more to the left so I can be a little more centered. And I'm going to focus. Now I know what I'm focusing on. Now I have sort of an idea of how this rhythm needs to be, and I can move forward. I can keep going. So when you say failure, you are not a failure to me if you don't try. And if you try and it does not work, maybe revamp that idea, revamp the approach you had to whatever that situation was. Revamp it. Come back, try it again. You're only a failure if you stop, if you never reach that goal, okay? And you keep going, you keep going, you keep going. Do not stop and never let anyone else stop you. As long as you keep going, you keep pushing, you keep thriving, you are not a failure. Will it feel like that at times? Yes. Yes, it will. But as long as you keep going, you keep pushing, you keep thriving, you keep that fight in your heart, you keep that end goal in mind, you are not a failure. I know society would like to make you believe that because you're not making this six-figure job, you're not producing this amount, you don't live in this area, you don't have this kind of car, those can be considered as failures, right? And you can feel so bad because you don't have those things. But in those moments, you have to really sit down, think about, and focus on the blessings and the things that you do have, the areas that you are successful in. Success is measured by so many different things. Success could be measured by the family around you. Success can be built on the putting a smile on your kids' face that day. That's a success. If you are able to do that, if you are able to sit back for, I'm going to put it like this. If you're able to sit back for 2 minutes and think about your day before you go to bed and you like, yeah, I did that. If you can say that about one thing you did that day, baby, you are not a failure. You are a success. Your story is not the same as everyone else's, and their story is not yours. You can go through the same path and achieve the same goal, but baby, your steps is not going to be what their steps was. And sometimes you don't even want to have been through the same things that they've been through. Because I could sit here all day long, baby, and say, ooh, I want Beyonce money. Okay, that's what I want. That's gonna make me happy. I'm gonna be such a success if that happens. But baby, maybe I don't want to go through the same thing that Beyonce went through to get to where she is. Maybe that ain't meant for me. Maybe that path is too hard for me. You never know. So never base your success or your failure on someone else's story. That's their story. That's how they were meant to achieve that success, that failure, whatever. And do you think, then thinking about these celebrities or people you look up to, do you think they have not had a moment where they thought were a failure? It's part of life. If you never fail, you will never learn. And if you never learn, you will never grow. So as difficult as it is, you have to have a certain version of failure in your life to be able to grow, to be able to elevate, because you can't get to the top if you've never been to the bottom. Okay. Like you can't. There's there's no way that's possible. So if you stumble, if you fall, get back up, revamp your approach and try it again. In my eyes, you're only a failure if you stop, if you do not learn from what you went through, if you do not learn from the event. Like I said, it's all about growth and growing. Life is a constant process. Life is constantly growth, it's constant elevation, it's constant change, it's constant navigation. So, baby, if you slip and you fall, pick yourself back up, note what you did wrong, change it, and keep climbing back up. Because once you get to that end goal, baby, it's going to be so amazing. It's going to be so perfect. It's not going to be easy because nothing worth having is going to be easy. Nothing that is meant to change your life for the better is going to come to you easy. You're going to have to work. You're going to have to push, and you're going to have to really believe in that idea that you have is going to take you to this level. You're going to have to believe in the entire process, the good, the bad, the ugly, the great. You're going to have to believe in that, trust in that, own it. If you stumble, if you fall, pick yourself back up and try again, baby. Like I said, you are not a failure unless you quit. And I don't know about you, but ain't no quitting me. I don't care how many times I fall, baby. I'm going to get back up. I'm going to keep going. I am going to keep pushing. So when it comes down to failure, in my opinion, in my eyes, you are never a failure unless you quit, unless you let whatever it is that you are going through completely beat you down and you never get back up. Even if it takes you a little bit to get back up, even if your process to learning what happened, to revamp it, to take that next step, even if that's a process, baby. I'm talking, it could be a process of for a couple hours, couple months, even a couple of years. But as long as you do not stop and you keep going, and at some point you take that next step, baby, to keep going towards your goal, you are not a failure. Never look at yourself as a failure, because every time you make a step, you took a tippy toe forward, baby. You don't know what's in front of you. Do you know the mindset you have to literally get out there and step out on faith, to step out against that dream, to step out towards that idea that you have? You know the amount of strength, the amount of courage, the amount of fight, the amount of love, the amount of talent, the amount of heart that you have to get out there and make that first step. And if you do that, failure, what? That word should not even be in your vocabulary as long as you make those steps. I hope, to the person who asked that question, I hope that this really helped you into seeing how I deal with failure and how I view that word. And I use that, and that is my motto for life, business, everything that I do. That is my motto for failure. So I really hope that that answers that question for you guys. Keep the questions coming. Comment down below any questions you may have for potential videos. If you agree with my definition of failure, if you have a different opinion, comment that down below. I would love to hear from you all. And until next time, guys, I will catch you in the next one. Peace. Feel